So today I'm going to unbox this with you all. This is a Neewer lighting system with backgrounds. Picked this up on Amazon this week and got it yesterday, and really just been waiting to kind of open it up with you. So I did take a little bit of a sneak peek, but not much. There's a lot to it. So hopefully we'll learn something together. All right, here we go. All right, everybody. So what do I have before me? What I have is, this is the primary package. This is a Neewer lighting system, and what it came with was actually 4 lights, and there's 2 umbrellas, and then 2 with the diffusers on them. They are, not sure how many watts they are, because honestly the packaging inside says they're one thing, but what I ordered was another. But it doesn't really matter, because even if it's the same, what I picked up was actually cheaper. So it comes in 2 packages. This is the primary package. This is your secondary, which be honest with you, I'm assuming is going to be mostly the stands. Really nice setup as far as the packaging goes. You know, I'm a musician as well, so I'm used to toting gear around. This thing is locked up pretty freaking tight. You have these clips, and then you have the center handle, which has the Velcro grip on it. The zippers on it even. They're, you know, they both directions. Zipper on this side. So that why, that's the bottom, because there's only one zipper, so obviously that's the part that doesn't open up. Just really nice setup so far. Fairly heavy duty nylon. I don't think I would ship this anywhere like this. But honestly, considering the contents, you wouldn't do that anyway. So, alright, so we're going to go ahead and break this open. Now, like I said, I thought that was a nice little touch. If you have ever tried to put equipment away, loose handles are a huge pain in the hind. Lightweight zipper, so like I said, don't get too excited. Now this, alright, sorry Bella, she's still here. She literally just didn't even move. It's over half of her body. So now, slightly disappointing are the directions, I have to say, and because honestly this is supposed to be folded in half. But apparently, I guess that was, I'm sorry, what do you expect? But as the packaging read, it's a 2.6 meter by 3 meter / 8.5 foot by 10 foot background support system, and 800 watt, and I believe what I ordered was 900 watt, 5500K, which is daylight, umbrella softbox continuous lighting kit for photo shoot product / portrait and video shooting. We can guess how that was translated, right? So let me grab my copy, sorry. Setup is a little bit different. Now once I get this up, it's going to be even more different. So this is the information package. I thought this was really pathetic. They did send a card along with it with a QR code that you can log onto their website and look at things. On to the story. So we're going to open these things up. And I did not wear a lapel mic today. I'm relying on the mic on the camera because that's annoying enough. Imagine it being 3 inches from the microphone. So now Bella, the cat, is probably going to be playing with all this stuff, so just bear with us. This is okay, so this is one of the hoods for, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Look at the size of this thing. Alright, so I'm going to try to pay attention to where I'm at. Now, so we have 2 of these. This will cover 2 separate units that will be coming up. These are your heavily diffused lights. That's what gives you the really soft look. Not a lot of real hard shadows or anything like that. So let's get to it. So as we open it up, first thing you're going to notice is backgrounds. Okay, so now it comes with 3, which again, just added to the attractiveness of the package, because one at about $150 price point, give or take $2 or $3, I'm at a $150 price point. I have four lights that I'm working with. Now, this material, to me, I have not pulled these out of the package. I'm just telling you by looking at them. These are super lightweights. So this material is 8.5 foot by 10 foot, and it's in that package. All right, so if any of you ever bought sheets, this is what I think this is probably going to be. Now, the ratings on this were really freaking astronomically high. Even looking at the worst reviews, which is usually what I do, even looking at the worst review, it was a problem with getting a refund taken care of. So, three backgrounds. Now, these are the hoods for that diffuser panel that you just saw. And so there are, like I said, there are two of these, and these go on what effectively looks to me like a mic stand. The end of it looks like similar to, again, I've never bought these before, so this is kind of new for me too. And there's the hood for that one. This is actually, okay, again, it's from having to move stuff around. Not bad. Gotta say, not bad. Okay, why? Because even on this little thing, it's got a nice little sewn, double-stitched handle on it. And then it's got full Velcro across the entire end of it. There's absolutely no way that you can see that, but that's, trust me, that's there. And the Velcro flap on it is actually fairly wide. So it's honestly, the Velcro is almost, well, it's probably the width of my pinky. So it's not a little half strip or anything like that. It's actually a nice full strip that seals up nice and keeps them in there. So we're going to open this up and take a look at it. Now hopefully I have got myself zoomed out far enough that you're going to be able to see all this. So on the bottom, on here, and this is just like musical equipment, you have this standard receptacle here, and then it does have a locator, a lock here, so once you get it on its stand, it's going to lock in. This is not threaded, so it looks like this is just going to pop on top of the stand. And then, like I said, so it gives you the opportunity to take this really in about any position that you want, up and down, and you're obviously, because this is not threaded, this is really going to slide side to side fairly easy, and then you can lock it down tight. So on the cord there is a nice little on-off switch, which is freaking awesome. So Bella's has taken interest in this bad boy. So this, as you can see, hopefully. Alright, so this, Bella honey, can you, thank you sissy. Alright, so that's what we're looking at. And then what you do is, this is literally just like an umbrella setup. So on the inside, what I'm going to be doing, and obviously not going to be doing this on camera because there's absolutely no room whatsoever, but I'm going to be inside here, going to be placing the bulb, and then once that's in there, then locking that down, and once you get the hood on the out, once you get it on the stand and stuff, you know, it actually it's much more rigid. But fortunately, as you can see, like an umbrella, I mean, just instantly rolled back up. So that bad boy is ready to go back in. Now these four are the bulbs that are going with the units here. And it looks like I'm actually going to have to get these out of the way to get beneath. So it's a little out of order. Sorry about that. Now these are the bulbs, and this is the reason why I went with this one rather than the previous version, is because of that. So given the option, by everything that I read, given the option between this type of bulb and your typical curlicue bulb, take this bulb. Alright, so now this is a, like I said, this is a 5500K, which should be, was generally considered a daylight bulb. This is a 900 watt output from the electrical side. But yeah, so we have four of these bad boys. It's plastic top. I mean, seriously, yeah, how do you freaking beat this? So, not like it was when Dad was doing stuff. I mean, let me tell you, talk about fragile. Everything was fragile. So yeah, so we got four of those. I'm just double checking to make sure that that's actually what's in these four, because like I said, I haven't opened this yet, so I just pulled the directions out. The directions. I pulled the directions out, and that was about as far as I got. So, and this is, let me double check. Yeah, so this is, we have 4 of the same bulb. Here's the equipment. So here's our last bulb. Again, thank God this plastic, because I just smacked my hand on it. Now, I'm going to assume these are probably like transformers or something. So they're definitely not bulbs. And so, oh yeah, so these, okay, so these are going to go into our umbrella. Now, everybody knows what these umbrellas are. They're actually like the oldest, you know, when you went to get your picture taken in high school, in elementary school, this is what we're talking about, right? So this, now, let's see here. Okay, so, well, so this is unfortunate. So I'm already bummed out. Sorry, I'm getting back on track here. I get distracted. I chase rabbits a lot. All right. No on-off switch. So, honestly, I don't think these things can be remotely triggered either. So, not a huge issue because, like I said, I'm really using digital. I'm not sure it's going to be that big of a deal because, you know, I'll just be using natural light because I prefer actual natural light to flash photography anyway. Got that from my dad. So, but the no on-off switch on this, that's kind of negative. But this is like pretty heavyweight, and honestly, you know, even for having very little electrical in it, this has got some nice weight to it because, like I said, I'm holding the cord up. But this part right here doesn't feel too bad for the home setup. So, 2 of those bad boys. All right, and then this is the other cover that we looked at earlier. And then, like I said, and all together, we're going to learn how these things work, proper names and stuff like this. All right, so now this, okay, now listen. I know most of us are not experts on this, but I think we might be able to figure out what this is referred to as. Now, I'm going out on a limb, but I'm pretty sure that most of us could guess the technical name for this item that I'm holding in my hand. So what you've got here, this is your umbrella, and then what you have is your, and I'm just going to keep it behind me, and then you're going to have this with a bulb in it. Oh man, look, now let me tell you, on the fly, this is spun totally in, nice big large knob over there, just a few spins, and I way overspun it. I mean, seriously, I missed that by a freaking mile. All right, so what you're going to have is your bulb will rest in here, and light will actually bounce back out. So, so there's that. I'll get these out of the way for you here. Almost done, almost done. We're getting to the bottom here. And so now these I am going to assume, because what I'm going to do is we're going to get the stands out, which is actually the thing that really is going to kind of wrap this up. All right. Oh my gosh, guys. All right, so here is one of our stands. Now, and again, these are Neewer branded. So I know it sounds silly. If you have to unload it, if you have to get rid of it, that it is not going to hurt. Unless, of course, they've had bad experience with Neewer, which, from what I've seen, doesn't seem to happen very often. So this is your, well, you know what? I'm not sure which stand this is because I buried my directions because, you know, it was such a heavy, just novel of information that I had to get it off the table. I was concerned about the weight capacity of this table. Oh, okay. Seriously, I mean, all right, anyway. All right, so it gives you the installation steps for the soft box, which is the large black hood with the aluminum, you know, the shiny interior. That's rocket science. it looks like to me that I'm going to be opening these boxes, and all 4 of these stands are going to be identical. So the soft box I'm going to actually have to set up, and then you know, we're going to have to readjust because you're never going to be able to see at this vantage point. But once I'm going to get this stuff all set up, and then we'll get an idea what it looks like. But yeah, so we have 4 stands, 4 of the exact same stands. So for the exact same stand. Sorry, with all of the other information that was included, it was actually difficult to find the list of items included in the package. I'm just kidding. It's the technology age. So, all right. So this is what we're looking at now. This, nice. All right. Pretty nice. Okay. The dimensions of this. Now I'm going to get this a little close here. So that's a large, sturdy base. Now, one thing that you will learn if you are not used to putting heavy things up in the air, and now for me it's been speakers. If you're not used to putting heavy things up in the air, you don't want a small footprint. You want a nice, big, wide footprint. You want lots and lots of space for your stand to be able to hold something up, because the shorter these legs are, the less stable this stand is. So, unless it weighs like, 150 freaking pounds. And then if the stand weighs more than what's on top of it, then it can be the size of a saucer. But that's not your situation. So, well, not really, but you know what I mean. All right, so here we go. Now, we're on the tabletop here. That's pretty tall. You're not going to set that on. So this is on the floor next to me. And so that's section 1. And there we go. There's section 1. Wow. There's another freaking section to this. I'm not even kidding. Are you guys seeing this? So check that out. I'm sorry. I'm totally going to have to set this up. I really didn't realize the stands were this tall. This is freaking awesome. So, and they have these are nice little flip locks. Again, relatively lightweight, but they seem to, okay. Now listen, I use twist wrenches for a living, so I've got extremely good grip, and I work with my hands right now. So, me taking that much energy, I mean, I know you can't tell that, I don't like I have a poundage meter or anything like that. That was a good tug. Okay, that was a good tug. Yeah, that's a good tug. Now that's what matters. Wow. I'm not kidding, guys. Sorry. And I stretch. And I know I'm going to look like a freaking Pillsbury Doughboy. But my upper body is not in very bad shape. And like I said, working with my hands my entire life. That's sturdy. Okay? Thumbs up for the stands. All right, so we're gonna pop these bad boys out of the way, and then I'm gonna grab the stands, which I believe must be the stands for. Watch out, Bella. Watch out, honey. I know she freaking loves this stuff. So, now this, like I said, this is so this is going to be kind of nice. This is, and I can feel it. It's already in pieces. So. This pack, I really like this bag. I know that sounds super silly, but when I've actually been looking at camping gear and stuff like that, and so I've kind of been into it, I guess, with looking at packaging and how sturdy something is actually put together. So, like I said, this is a much better. To me, feels like a much heavier weight than the packaging on the larger items. So we're going to crack these back. I mean, you see what I mean? So to me, this is, if you've got something, especially if you need to keep it, and these are actually not adjustable, so if you get this to like its outer limit, and what the idea of this is like stress relief. So you get this thing stuffed up and you just clip these, and it keeps from stripping your zipper out, because these zippers are toys. So that part is not the best. But again, at full retail, it was 190 bucks, you know, so let's be a little realistic at what we're getting. So here we go. Oh, here we go. Nice. Okay, so, yeah, so, oh, wow, guys. Dig this. All right. So that's why it's set up like that. All right. So this is super cool. I gotta say, I'm glad I didn't do this beforehand, because this is really cool. I had no idea I did that. I just noticed at the top, I'm looking at this, and I don't play golf, so. But you know, you see them in like golf bags and stuff like that. Is the ability to seal off the top, access the top, but then also be able to get into it. But it's basically closed up, but you can always just get to the top. You know, sometimes you see like thermos insulators and things like that are like that. But I mean, for storage, this is freaking awesome. So it is pocketed. So I unfortunately, everything is black. So now this stand is a modified version of the other stand, which has magically disappeared over here in the big pile of crap that I have going on. But don't laugh. You just stop laughing. Okay? All the women right now are going, you just set it down beside you. Yes, you're right, I did. Bella can't talk. How's she supposed to correct me? So, anyway, so this is our primary stands for the light setup. Now, there's the ends. And you can see they are more than slightly different. All right. So now what you're going to get is obviously extension. So this one has got 2 segments, and this one has 3 segments. So obviously you're going to get a lot more height out of that. So here we have this. Literally, this base is freaking the same. There is nothing. It feels exactly the same. Actually, it doesn't feel like it has much more weight on it. The top of it, it's actually it is hardened metal. So yeah, if you've ever, I worked on cars for a good chunk of my life, and there's a very distinctive look that it has. You can't paint something and make it look, and it actually, to me, it looks like it's actually stamped on the end. So, and this gives you your framing for the housing that that holds the backgrounds. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to set this up. These, and it looks like, if you can look, now let me see if I can't get this around so you can see what I'm talking about here. Now this was the pocket, first pocket. Sorry, I'm looking at my freaking white arms here. So this is our first pocket, and then all of the rest of your elements, the crossbar is all right here. Now these are still in plastic, but it gives you a perfect little setup to where you can literally, you lay this flat, everything is broken down, and then you take it. This is the first time I've ever done this. So that's what I'm telling you. I like the setup, okay, because this functions like things that are made to do this. Sometimes I see these packages, these carrying cases and stuff, and I'm like, you never intended for this S to go back inside this bag, did you? Because there's no freaking way that's going to go back in the bag. It's just not going to happen. And I'll tell you how nice the setup was on this Neewer on the larger bag. Again, just little things I noticed, details. I took the upper layer of stuff off, and then I thought, no, you know what? I need to do a proper unboxing on this. And so I actually was able to put everything back the way that it came from the factory, and it fit. Now, that may not mean a lot to you, but that let me know that those items were not put in there in a way that it takes a literal Tetris expert to be able to fit them back in there. You don't want this kind of stuff jammed and banged around. This is not heavy duty equipment. You know, this is home use equipment, and that's what I'm going to be using it in, is my home. And the idea, the hope is that this will render a more professional look. And so plus it's going to, like I said, and because I'm also going to be using it as photography lighting, to me it's just a win-win. I looked at some of the soft boxes on their own from Neewer, and I'm probably about the same power that I have right now that I just purchased, the two with the black with the silver linings. Those soft boxes, they were about $70 on Amazon, and this whole package was $150. But it was, those two were $70, plus I needed to buy a green screen and the stands, plus I need, you know what I mean, you see how quickly it added up. Because like I said, you can use soft boxes for photography, and it's done quite a bit. But eventually, now I can do it, I know, I mean, there's an insert I can put inside that element that gives me access to, through a camera, to remotely fire those lights. But it would have been nice if it would have had a built-in plug, okay, a hot shoe plug. But it was $152. Have I mentioned that? Have I mentioned how cheap it was? So what I'm going to do now is, to the best of my ability, is I am going to put this crap together and get all of it set out, and then I will come back to you guys, and we'll take a look at it and see what I can do. All right? Wish me luck. Oh wait, oh no, I don't need luck. I have the encyclopedia of information, which is their directions. Thanks, Neewer. Hey everybody. So, well, the setup did not go as planned, so let's just put it to you that way. Now, as you can see here, I've got our Neewer, who, for some reason, whoever put this on, I did not do that. Whoever put the cover on actually put the cover on upside down. So I'm going to have to fix that, because that'll drive me crazy, even though I'm the only person that's ever going to see it. Still will drive me crazy, just like the fact that for some reason I feel like I need to burp and I haven't drank anything carbonated in 3 months. So that's not true, but you know. So I got our Neewer, our softbox light up, and there's the front of it, and you can see that's our cover that we had looked at, and then there's the edges. The bulb itself actually forces these sides out. Once you install the bulb, it actually pushes down that ring, that the circular ring that's in the middle, that gets pushed down, and that's actually what gives it its structure. So you want to be careful with that. That was one, as soon as I started screwing in that end, and I realized that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually just aluminum threads on the bulb and on the housing. So you want to be kind of soft on that. I wouldn't get crazy on it. It is a freaking light bulb. So, but that put together real well. The stand itself, I mean, again, it is definitely entry-level, kind of lightweight stuff, but it is nice. I mean, I'm moving this around, and obviously we're getting movement in it because it's basically fully extended. But what's moving is not the base. What's moving is the top part, and which is what you want, because your bottom is nice and solid. So I can walk by and accidentally kick it, which I did. Walk by and accidentally kick it, and it still was freaking fine. It didn't give me any problems at all. So now, one thing that you're going to see here is I am going to take this. This is our green screen, which. So this is our green screen. So let me just tell you what happened on the freaking green screen. So and I'm going to have to do a little flippy here real quick. So I have 10-foot ceilings, and this is almost at the extent. Now you're going to have to pardon the junk that's in the background. Sorry, because I had to rearrange everything to make this work. But you can see in here there is a relatively short. This is not fully extended, but everything else is fully extended. So this definitely has more height. Here's the problem. Okay, so here's the material. Now, what is supposed to happen, if I can find me a clip here real quick. what is supposed to be happening is this little clippy. See that little clippy? Let me do it. That little clippy goes like that, or some semblance of that. So that's what you have down low. Now what's supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to do is to pull this thing taut, and then on the other side you should be able to do the same thing. Well, here's the problem. This is fully extended, and you see that great big gap? Okay, well, here's the thing. This is segmented. So I thought, well, hey, maybe they give you this extra long segment, so that you can run it sideways and do it at 10 feet. Well, it's not actually sewn with a pocket on the other direction, so it's obviously only meant to be put in this way. But can you see that little notch there? That notch is where it actually comes apart. It's got a little slide to it. There's flats cut on a circle, and you turn it sideways and it locks into place. Which I'm going to show you here on the other piece. It's still not on here, but if I pull this all the way tight, it's still not close enough to get attached. But if I remove one of these segments, it is literally going to be that wrinkled. So needless to say, catch focus there, buddy. Needless to say, that is not very cool. And so let me get into some light. There we go. Digital cameras have issues with focusing in no light, so like we talked about earlier. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, so that is not cool. Now, I'm not super excited about how that has worked. This is just day one, so I will figure out how to make this work, and then we'll come back together and we'll work on that then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the camera right back on the stand, and I'm going to sit down and then show you what this it looks like with just the single light. Now, I have not spent much time setting this up, like 5 minutes, not much time setting this light in place, but I want to show you the major difference that this kind of lighting can make in literally just this is just a 1080p video. I don't do anything 4K. Don't have time or the money for any of that stuff. So alright, so I'm going to pop this on the stand, take a seat, and then we'll take a gander at how she looks. So, and Bella is still with us, obviously. Get that locked down in there. And let's see here. So let's pull this down a little bit so you can see my baby girl. There she is a little bit. Hey Bella, how you doing, honey? She doesn't seem to be bothered by the lights at all, even though they are dramatically brighter than what they were before. All right, so this is what we look like with the single softbox. Now this was the larger with black exterior, and then had the silver on the inside. It's got the 900 watt bulb on the inside of it, and that's it. That's literally the only. I'm only using one light. The last setup that you saw me on, I was running 3 different lights. 2 mounted around the camera, and then 1 on the back here, to kind of, like, you know, make my hair look like it's not part of the background. So, excuse me. Hopefully this will give you a rough idea of the differences that we're looking at. Now, one thing I can tell you for sure is, even with this huge light that is up in front of me, this is much easier on my eyes than working with the others that I've been working with, because it's not such a direct light. This is obviously a lot softer. As you can see, there's a little bit of shadow right there, but the light is actually elevated. So I could probably drop that light down, give it a more, you know, head-on trajectory, as it were, and maybe get rid of that little bit of shading in there. And then, as you can see here, we got some shading, you know, under my chin, which is one of the things that's pretty common when you're trying to shoot. You're wanting to eliminate as many shadows as possible. You can see shadows over here and all this, and this whole lower area. This should be, this black table right here, this should be a lot clearer than what it is, because I'm only working with 1 light source. So, but for 1 light source that I got to put up in 5 minutes and slap my camera up, this would be okay. If I was doing a short video on, which is rare, but if I were doing a quick, this is just something I was thinking about type video, this would be a perfectly fine setup. Or something that would even be just as acceptable, and to me honestly would be a little better, is if I just came back over, freed up my camera, and then you can see here that you get around, and honestly, just me stepping into this much of the frame with the light on it, you can see the effect that you can get. And see, and so then you pull back there, and just the clarity of the picture changes so much. All of the things that are hidden normally, on purpose, that I spend a lot of time trying to hide, really come out when you give yourself plenty of light. And now that's why you get into color correction, things like that. So you're just balancing your skin tones out. So hopefully this helps. It helped me. I feel better. I spent a lot of time researching this equipment, actually a couple years, and finally coming down to something that really felt to me like it was going to fit in with my budget. It had my size consideration because I really am limited on space. And I wanted something that, like I said, I've said several times, I wanted something that if bad comes to worse and I need to sell the product, to sell the items, that they would still retain at least some value, if only just for namesake. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping in. It's been a great time. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.